if some federal judge said they weren't. I can tell you other things that I have learned in the last 3 months. I have talked to people who have been over there. Even the government, in their indictment, in their discovery, has one piece of a statement from a person. Everybody's name is an initial. You know, they don't want to put anybody's name up, and they go to these people who, at one time or another, been represented by Robert, and they threaten them. They don't beat them up or anything, but they just say, well, we're going to send you back to Iraq unless you follow our script and say something back about Iraq. And one of the things, I think his name was Mr. C, and they said, well, are you afraid to go back to northern Iraq? There's nothing there that nobody will hurt you. And he said, oh, no. And he said, see, nobody's ever hurt you. Nobody's ever hurt your family. And he said, oh, excuse me, they did machine gun down my brother. And this is in their discovery. And they are prosecuting this fine, decent, proud man. And if you think that I'm a little silly for carrying a last flight around on my iPhone, because if anybody says, well, there's nothing going on in northern Iraq, I pull this out and I say, here, take 10 minutes, just look at it. Look at the pain, the agony, and how would you feel if they were selling your daughter to someone else for marriage after she had been kidnapped from you? Every day I learn more about the atrocities over there. And every day that I learn more about this, I'm more proud to represent Robert in this upcoming case. He's a fine person. And I'm looking at all you out there, and I said, look at all these witnesses who I can call. The trial will be in January, and another thing that has come to me that you probably should know. I'm kind of under an order that I can't use people's names until the trial starts, as a federal judge's order. But about 2 weeks ago, I had 2 men, fine men, come in from the Detroit area, and they told me a story that was horrifying. I said earlier that a lot of these witnesses are people who have been threatened, scared, intimidated. They don't want to be sent back. And that's the little plum they're saying, well, you testify against Robert, we'll give you this little plum and you can stay here. But these 2 men who came in told me how this agent from ICE came in and gave them that same routine, threatening them subtly, you will go back unless you cooperate with us. And one said to him, well, too bad, just recently I became a citizen, so you don't scare me. And the other man, who was related to him, from outside Detroit, said, I'm not going to let you put false words into my mouth and testify against Robert for things that just aren't true. As I said, I've been doing this, practicing law for close to 50 years. When I turned 50 years old, a group of lawyers gave me a present that I've always just loved. They gave me license plates that said Defender. So there's a car out in front that says Defender, that's me. My friend who first told me about Robert said, Robert is the defender of our community. I've met him, I've tried to learn a little bit more about your plight, because I think that will help me represent him better. But Robert is a fine person, and my ultimate compliment to any other lawyer you're a defender. And I am proud of you, Robert. I'm proud to represent you. And you will walk out of that courtroom the same way you walked into my office, as a proud member of our community. And I guarantee you, fighters don't quit, and Robert's a fighter.